Hi, my amazing artists. In this video, we are going to learn how to make a Skelo cat or a Skelo dog. And so we need a piece of black paper and white paper to make this collage. Our first step is we are going to be making this like long vertical oval for the spine of our animal. This is going to take about, if you put your regular white piece of paper in vertical, you're going to draw it so that it takes about halfway across your paper. So think of it, you're going to go about just to the half mark and just make an oval that is about the size of a width of a finger. The next is we are going to draw 4 ovals. These are going to be horizontal, and they are going to be one getting a little bit bigger than the next. And you want it to be a little bit bigger because it's going to need to overhang that. So I'm going to draw 4 here. And these again can be about like the width of your pencil or a little more. That's okay. And then you can draw 3 smaller ones. Alright, and then you can cut these out. So now that I've got these all cut out, I'm going to begin to glue them down to my black paper to make my spine of my dog or cat. You want to glue it so that you're putting the glue on the pencil side of your paper because we do not want to see that. So I'm going to glue down the large oval for that main spine, have it kind of touch down towards the bottom of the paper, have it be in the middle. Then I'm going to take my smallest oval, place it at the top, and then put these here. And you're going to leave a little bit of space in between. And flip it over. Remember to glue on the pencil side so we don't see that. Leaving a little space in between each oval. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit bigger space in between the vertebrae that are going to go down here. So it's going to just be a little bit bigger space than I've been leaving in between here. Put those 3. I accidentally put glue on the wrong side, so you can always erase the pencil lines if you do that. It's not the end of the world. See, we even make mistakes. Alright, now that I've got this, I can begin to draw what's going to be the bones of the arms or the front legs of my animal. So like these right here. So because I'm going to need 2 of them, I'm just going to take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm going to draw these bones right here, these 3 bones. So this one's going to be a curved one. Here it's got a curve and it's going to come down. And this one's not going to be as long as some of these. And I'm going to come over here, and then towards the bottom it's going to make kind of like a little frown. I'm going to do the same thing, but this is going to go the opposite, so it's going to be like a little smile here. So it's like a smile with 2 little frowns connected to it, and then it's going to come down a ways, and I'm going to come here, kind of make those little loops, and then a frown. And I'm going to do it one more time over here where my paper's still overlapped. I'll make this one a little longer. So now that I've got these 3 bones, I can cut them out, and by having my paper folded, when I cut just the one, it's going to give me 2. So you'll see here in a second, I cut this one shape, and because my paper was folded, I now have two of the same exact shape. Now my next step is I'm going to find a bigger space on my paper, and I'm going to draw a tail. So it's going to be, I like putting it right next to my bones just so I can kind of get a gauge of how high to make it. So it's going to have a little bit of a point at it, and then come down, and then you can cut that out. So now that I have my bones pieces for the most part cut out, I can start to lay these out where they need to go. So these are going to go here by like what would be like the shoulders, and then these here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space, and then these here are going to go down at the bottom. Again, leaving a little bit of space. And then my tail is going to end up getting glued, but it's going to go like right underneath that bone in the elbow. So now that I've got them laid out, I can glue them down. Make sure you're putting glue on the pencil side. So I wouldn't want to have this show, so I want to put glue on that side when I'm gluing it down. So I'll put glue on this one, and then place it down on my black paper. I'm going to continue and do the same for the rest. Now this one here, because my tail needs to go underneath, I'm going to put glue on the tail first and place that down, and then glue like this one right on top. Now the ones here at the bottom, if they overhang the paper a little bit, that's okay. We can always trim that off later. Make sure you're applying enough glue to really make sure everything sticks. Like this isn't sticking down well, so I'm going to put a little bit more glue and then press it down so it's really adhering to my black paper. Now we need to make some oval shapes for the vertebrae, like in this tail. So you can grab your piece of paper, and you can fold it a little bit. I would say anywhere from like 6 of them is good. So I'm just going to draw 3 since I folded my paper. 6 should be plenty. I'm just going to cut this so it's smaller. And you can cut these out. So now that I have these all cut out, you can place them roughly on the tail, just estimating where they need to go. I'm going to switch this one because it's a little smaller. I think they'll better fit that way. So now I'm going to glue them down, making sure I'm gluing down the pencil side so I don't see it. Again, leaving that space in between each of them. I cut out an extra, but it looks like just from the spacing I won't need that one, so I can just toss that one out. My next step is to draw the face or skull of my dog or cat, and it's going to be like this rounded diamond shape, and you want to be able to fit like 4 fingers at least inside. I like to kind of just place it above my body so that I can kind of get a gauge of how big to make it. So I'm going to draw like this V shape here, but it's going to be rounded at the bottom. And then here, curve a little bit here, and draw another letter V, but it's going to be upside down. So it looks like a fairly good size. So now I'm going to cut that out. making sure I'm putting glue on the pencil side. And it can either touch like this where it overlaps, but if it doesn't and you have it where it's just like barely touching, that's okay too. Either one is fine. And press it down so it stays nice and flat. Now if you're choosing to make a cat, you are going to have your circles go kind of in a letter V upside down to make those triangles. If you're going to make a Skelo Dog, you're going to still make the circles, you'll just make a few more, and it's going to make like this backwards letter J or regular letter J connected to your head. So you can just fold a part of your paper and draw circles that would be about big enough to fit the eraser inside. If you're doing a cat, 5 circles is pretty good. If you're doing a dog, about 8 is probably a good number. Now that you've got your circles cut out, you can place them in the position that they need to be in, whether it's that letter V for the upside down for the cat, or if it is that letter like J and backwards letter J for the dog. So once you've got them positioned the way you want them, you can glue them down. Just make sure that you're providing a little bit of space in between each circle, but there you have it. That is the skeleton for your Skelo cat or Skelo dog. Have fun.